As we inch closer and closer to Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary, there's definitely a lot to take a note on. But first, the one, or should we say two games as a bundle that are supposedly coming soon? The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD. Now, last night I was looking through my game collection and unraveled something really particular, and I honestly thought that maybe you might throw this whole bundle situation out the window. But in this video, we're going to be talking about all the Legend of Zelda. Let's get straight into it. So starting everything off, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't like it. I don't like any part of it, but I have to be truthful to you all. So if you take a look at the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Now, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is a fantastic game, being able to sail the high seas as Toon Link, which is a beautiful, cute character with so many expressions, and being able to fight a whole bunch of evil sea creatures every so often. But then when you look at something like The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, now the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's something that's happening. But Twilight Princess is more of a dark, spooky game which might give you nightmares if you give it to the wrong person. Another reason why I say this is because The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is an E-rated game and Twilight Princess is a T-rated game. Now, an E-rated game usually doesn't go together with a T-rated game. Now, the ESRB ratings might not matter whatsoever to you, but let's just say that you are a parent buying for a 6-year-old and you look down at this E to T rating or whatever it's going to look like, and you realize, do I really want to give my son a T-rated game? He's 9. So overall, you'd probably put the game down and pick something else. But then you're missing out on Wind Waker. One way that Nintendo could try to fix this is try to just put an E-rated game, but I feel like then you would be removing a lot of aspects that Twilight Princess was made special in the first place. If you wanted to, you would get rid of the wolf, turn it into a pig Link, and then you would get rid of the Twilight and turn it into a Sunlight. Overall, it's definitely a really interesting and weird situation to be in, but there's definitely a lot of ways that Nintendo could fix this so we can finally see these games, because after all, there's been so many leaks, there's been so many rumors of seeing these games on Nintendo Switch 1 and Nintendo Switch 2, so on the first hand, I think that Nintendo could fix this easily by just doing something like they did with Mario Galaxy 1+2. Now, of course, you're not going to be seeing the double pack, but instead you're just going to be seeing separated games. So they'll sell them both for $40. Then you have a chance to pick up the physical copy of Wind Waker HD, and you can pick up the physical copy of Twilight Princess if you wanted to, but that's still technically an $80 game. So if you wanted them both, I guess you're paying $80, but if you only wanted one of them, I guess you're saving money on that hand. So overall, I found this to be really interesting. I hope that Nintendo figures something out, because another way that they can do it is sell it as a double pack, but then have parental control lock on it. So if you have certain parental controls or the system notices that you're under a certain age, well then it's going to be like, ask your parent if you have this parental control on, then you can accept it if you want to play Twilight Princess. Because there's nothing really inherently bad about Twilight Princess. It's not super scary. It's just pretty much a wolf doing his business and trying to save the world, if you know what I mean. But it still is a darker thing than Wind Waker. The only reason I feel like this got popular in the first place was because they are both Wii U games, but still. I hope that this happens. I hope that we see it, and honestly, and the leaks are pointing to at least seeing Twilight Princess. I think that we definitely deserve to see Twilight Princess because we don't have it on the GameCube application. I hope that it doesn't come to the GameCube application, because honestly, that would be quite disappointing. If we've waited so long, we know that we're going to be getting a remaster or just a port, a re-release for the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. But we've waited so long for these games, and then they just put it on the GameCube application. That might suck in so many different ways. I want to see Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I want to see both of these games because I think these games belong together. They really do. They really are fantastic games. If you take a look at a leak, or should we say a patent that Nintendo's filed, it's about the double screen situation. Now, honestly, Nintendo could utilize this in so many different ways. Let's just say that you upgraded to the Nintendo Switch 2 and you have a Nintendo Switch. Well, we already know that there is connectivity between the two devices where you can play. Game sharing or game splitting or whatever it is. Game sharing allows you to share the game with and between each other. But what if there was a game streaming where you play it on the main screen, which is the top screen, and then use your Switch as the bottom half? So if you're playing Wind Waker, you don't have to pause the game every single time. You can just look down at the C chart and see, okay, I want to go here, I want to go here, I want to go here. I think that would honestly be the best way to play these two games. And Twilight Princess, same thing goes there. You can look down at the map. You can look down at different ways to play those two games. But overall, this whole ESRB situation was definitely a weird and interesting one. I honestly think that if Nintendo wanted to, they could probably figure out a way around it. Like I said, getting a double pack or getting a dual release, a side-by-side release where you had Wind Waker, then you had Twilight Princess. Or what they could have done is you had Wind Waker at maybe the start of the year, and then you had Twilight Princess a little bit later, so then you have always something to play, which is really, really great. But then the whole situation with why is Wind Waker on the GameCube application but not Twilight Princess, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense there. Why are we seeing hopefully Wind Waker HD, but then it's also on the GameCube application? And then there's if you wanted to play speed mode or you want to be slower mode, because if you looked at it, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is about, I believe it's 20% faster than Wind Waker just on the GameCube, because you have to play the song of the Wind Waker and then stop and then move, and overall it's a whole thing there, and the controls definitely aren't as good as the Wind Waker HD is. So I hope that Nintendo looks at this and says, you know what, we are going to do a double pack. We're just going to have to put in some restrictions just in case there's some young users that don't want to get a nightmare about a big bad wolf trying to save the day, or attack people. Yeah. So overall, I don't know what else to say, but these two games, they come, it's probably going to be a dream come true for many of you. But if they don't come, I think that that's it. Our dreams have been squashed of seeing these games once again, because it's been ever since probably I would say 2021 where this whole subject sort of took off. We didn't see it, so every single year there was, of course, Twilight Princess is coming, Wind Waker HD is coming. So I'm just saying that if they don't come this year, if we don't get an announcement for both of these games, they're probably never going to be coming. They're just never going to be coming. So you better grab out your Wii and start playing it that way. Because still, the Wii U is a great way to play these games. It still looks great. It plays nicely. And there you go. Nintendo just doesn't want to sell you their games for some reason. Overall, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think we are going to be seeing Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, or do you think that's not going to happen now that I think about it? Anyways, I still have my high hopes. There is a lot of leaks about it. There's leaks and rumors, of course. There's been leaks and rumors. You can't 100% guarantee that this is going to happen. But overall, thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you consider to leave the like button. I try to give you the most truthful news that we can find. Anyways, see you in the next one.